we will see the difference between a for loop and for each loop. As you already know that a for loop and for each loop both are used to iterate through a collection of a data. Right now we have a simple collection of a data that is array, okay, that has these 5 values, and we are looping through it using a for loop and a for each loop. Okay, so what is the main difference? As you can see, in a for loop we need to check what is the length of the collection. Okay, so in order to loop through this collection you need to make sure that what is the length of the collection, and starting with the 0th index we need to increment the index by 1 till you reach to the length of the collection. Now in a for each loop, as you can see, we are not worrying about a length of the collection because it does that automatically. Okay, so that saves you one step. Secondly, here we need to manually increase index every time, but in a for each loop that is also have been taken care of automatically. Okay, so first difference is the simpler syntax when you see a for each loop. Okay, it is simply looping through each item with the data type of the item inside the name of the collection, and you are ready to access this variable as the current item in the collection. But in a for loop, again you need to refer to the current item by its index I. Okay, so we covered the first difference. Now what is the second difference? Let's say if I want to replace every element inside the my array with the value 0. Okay, so every current element I get inside a for loop, I am replacing it with the value 0. So when we run this, as you can see, after for loop every value is now 0. That is fine. Now same thing I want to do in a for each loop. Let's say every time inside the loop I will have a current item of a my array as name number. So I want to replace this value that is currently 0 with 10. Okay, so we are doing the same thing. We are accessing the current item inside a loop and we are replacing it with some value both in a for and a for each. Okay, so let's try to compile this. Oh, it is not compiling. It is giving some compilation time error. It is saying that cannot assign to number because it is a for each iteration variable. Now what does that mean? It means that your current item inside a for loop, you are able to replace its value, but you cannot do the same thing inside a for each loop. Okay, so in a for each loop you can just read the current item, okay, but you cannot change its value. Unlikely you could do it inside a for loop. So that is a major difference. So now you know when to use a for loop and a for each loop. Okay, so if you just want to read the values of a current item, then for each loop it's much simpler. But if you need to manipulate or replace the values of the current item inside the loop, then you should go for a for loop. Thank you.